ourselves a whole home project day. I have a list of miscellaneous projects I've been wanting to work on, so we're gonna get to it, and I'm so thankful to be partnering with Cricut for today's video. If you've been around for a while, you know I love my Cricut. I've made countless different crafts, DIYs, customized gifts, little details to our home. I have so much fun with my Cricut, so we have another project we're gonna do today, and one thing that I'm excited to work on is our little library out front. It's officially been over a year since we've had our little library, and it's been such a joy, but it absolutely could use a little touch up, a little refining. The paint is looking a little worn down, so we're gonna give it a bit of a facelift. We're gonna take a field trip to the craft store to hopefully get some inspiration. I'm trying to think of something different to add to it. Nothing crazy, but like a different detail. Last year we did moss on the roof, which I really loved. It did sort of blow off a lot, so maybe we can brainstorm something a little different that's more sturdy. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get inspired, but let's get to it. Here's what our little library is currently looking like. She's definitely seen better days. We have leftover snow from our Christmas overlay, which I just need to pull off at this point. And then you can see the white paint just has some, has faded a little bit, or the wood has kind of cracked. So it definitely needs a touch up. And then the butterfly handle, I love it, but I need to tighten it. And I need to paint over sort of the rust from other handles that we had. I love this little library sign still though. I made that with my Cricut, and it stayed on really well for over a year, which is very impressive with all the crazy Florida weather. Our take a book, leave a book sign could use a touch up as well. And then we have little details on the side, which I think I can just paint over the window to help it look a little more fresh. I have a scalloped edge on this side that has stayed put, but the one on this side has fallen off. I was able to save it, so I just need to reattach that and touch it up. And then I had a windowsill that pretty much completely decayed, so we're gonna source another one at the craft store, hopefully. Side note, but we have this maple tree in our yard, and it is absolutely gorgeous right now. We have a nice hodgepodge of items, found what we went in for. I'm still unsure of what exactly I want to do for the roof of our little library, but I think I'll stick to some sort of moss. So I did find this more flat faux moss. I was inspired because they have this little picture of the birdhouse roof, and that looks very similar to our little library. And this might be able to stay put a bit better than the thick Spanish moss, which it really isn't that big of a deal for me to just reattach it every few days whenever we have a really windy or stormy day. So we'll see how this looks. And then I also picked up this yarn. I have some yarn already, but I thought this blue color was really beautiful. And last week, my friend Greta's mom taught us how to crochet. I'm still such a novice, so I don't really know how to do much, but it was a cozy night. We went over to her home, learned how to crochet, and it's very fun. So I was thinking of maybe crocheting some sort of element for the little library. I'm not gonna do that today. We'll save that for another day, but it's just nice to have the crochet hook and some yarn choices so that I can continue to play around with that. And then I got 2 of the potted plants, the little dollhouse potted plants. That's my favorite section to look at for elements for our little library, is the dollhouse section, because it's the right size. So I had one of these on before on one of the windows, but I got 2 for both of them. And the one I had for last year, it's so decayed, but I actually kept it because I have Christmas trees on it from last season, so I'll probably use it for Christmas time, but we'll see how it holds up. That's almost a perfect fit. That's kind of crazy how perfectly that fits. Serendipitous. The little library has been revitalized. I missed a little spot there. Could have used more blue paint, but it looks nice and refreshed. Last January, I purchased this gorgeous Bismarck palm, and I had it in our living room for most of the year. She is now at the plant hospital outside because the past few months she's lost quite a bit of leaves, but look at all of this new growth. I definitely am hopeful that we'll have a lot of new leaves soon, but it's just taking a bit of time, but more leaves the leaves are starting to open more and more every day. So feeling hopeful, but just gonna continue giving her some plant food and some sunshine, and then we'll move her back inside. Tea, and now it's time to do some crafting. This was one of my first Cricut creations a few years ago, right after we adopted Palmer. It says Palmer's Mom, such a cute little mug. I have made countless different crafts with my Cricut, from our Christmas cards this past season to baby shower gifts to party favors. I just have so much fun with it, and it's been such a great tool and resource to elevate my crafting and make things look really professional. And I feel like it's such a great option for those customized gifts. And one of my ins for the year is homemade gifts that are really thoughtful and intentional. So I definitely plan to use my Cricut endlessly. And over the past 3 years of having my Cricut, I've been able to save quite a bit of money by making these handmade gifts and adding all of these customizations instead of ordering it. And it just feels so much more special to be part of the creation process. And if you're unfamiliar, Cricut is a cutting machine that equips you to cut and create beautiful crafts and custom pieces. It works with a software called Design Space that comes free with your machine. And this is the resource that I use to piece together all of my designs, and it's really incredible because they have all of these beautifully curated designs and images ready for you to go. So if you're needing some inspiration, it's really a wonderful resource to hop on and see what you can piece together. And there's truly hundreds of different images and fonts, and once you've created your design, Design Space will send it to your machine to cut. So it's really integrated, and they even have Design Space on your phone if that's more convenient for you. And I know Cricut can seem maybe a little intimidating since it seems like such a complex machine, since it's capable of so much, but they really do everything they can to set you up for success. And there's so many different online tutorials, and I'm excited to show you the craft that we're doing today. It's a pretty simple one, so I feel like this could be a great place to start. And Cricut does have multiple machines, as well as the blades, mats, tools, and materials you want to play around with. And I personally have the Cricut Maker 3, which I love because it's the most powerful and capable of such a wide variety of projects. Also, it's the most efficient with speeds up to 2 times faster than the previous generations. So it's been really great for everything that I hope and love to do. So I personally love my Cricut Maker 3. It's such a dreamy color and will set us up for success for what we're hoping to do today. So like I said, I'm really into handmade gifting, and I absolutely love to give little bouquets of flowers from the garden to different friends, family members, especially if I'm going to someone's home and they're hosting. I feel like it's such a great hostess gift as a little bouquet of flowers. So I have these jars. They're the perfect little small bouquet size to fit a nice amount of flowers, and I want to customize these jars so that they're ready to go, keep them in the cabinet, and whenever I'm ready to gift someone a bouquet, I can grab one of these jars. So my plan is I want to add a little graphic, I'm thinking cherry, maybe a little heart cherry, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. It could be really cute. And then at the bottom of the jar, I want to write XO Allison. So I'm thinking of using these vinyls. I have this permanent glossy premium vinyl. I really love this color. It's sort of a peachy color. And then we have a black. So I think I'll do 1 black and then 2 of this pretty peachy color. They turned out so cute. I absolutely love them. I'm so excited to gift them with some fresh garden flowers. While we're out here, I figured I could give you a quick garden update. Our flower bed is looking a little dull, but that just is what comes at this time of year. Our cosmos, however, are very much thriving. I cut them back every so often and make little bouquets out of them, and they are very happy right now. We have a few peppers. I need to weed the back of the bed, and I also have some habaneros I want to plant, and I also got some organic jalapeno seeds. So we're going to add some more peppers soon. We have some herbs, and then we do have some tomatoes. I really need to get more of a structure to support our Everglades tomato plant. Oh, I see some. See, I have some hanging down here, but they were just completely in the soil because it doesn't have enough structure. So I need to add that on my list next time I go to the garden center. I also purchased these snapdragons the other day from the plant nursery, and they're looking a little sad right now. I think they got a little bit too much rain the past couple of days. It rained like crazy. We actually had a crazy storm, so I think they're just droopy from all the wind and rain, but hopefully it'll perk up again soon. And then we have a lot of lettuce and a lot of kale growing over here. Home project day, lunch break, eating some leftover lentil soup, and I have my cuddle bug, truly as close as he could get. It's so precious. Another project that I'm thinking of doing, but I'm still analyzing if it is a good idea, is I want to paint our kitchen island. I thought about adding some sort of wood paneling, or I don't know, just trying to add more character and depth to our kitchen island. But I just haven't landed on what I really love, like which idea I really love. And, oh, hello, Mr. Palmer. He is inserting himself into this moment. I ordered this paint stencil a while ago, and I was thinking it would be fun to use this paint stencil to paint our kitchen island around the base. So I'm contemplating it. Let me know if you've ever used a paint stencil. How did it go for you? I feel like I've heard mixed reviews, like some really encouraging and some, oh, it was a nightmare, especially if you're not good at freehand painting, because sometimes you have to sort of fill in any gaps with freehand painting. So I don't know. And my thing is, my thought process is, if I don't like it, it's very easy to paint over it. So it's not a huge deal if it doesn't end up well. So I'm thinking I'll try it, but I'm open to feedback. While we have our paintbrushes out, another project I really want to do is paint the back of this store. I painted the inside this beautiful light blue color, and now I want to paint the outside. So I first need to scrub it down a little bit, especially near the handle. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but there's a bunch of like fingerprints and just dirt and griminess. So I'm going to scrub it down really quickly, and then we'll get to painting.
Leaving all my worries, I prepare for something new. Whatever it was that held me back, I'm sure it wasn't true. Holding on too long and unresolved questions hold you down. What could have been A friendly smile has turned into a frown. I'm moving on and on and on. I'm moving on.
First coat is complete. I wonder if you can even see it that well on camera since it's such a light blue, but it looks really beautiful. I definitely will need to do a few touch-ups. I don't know if I'll need to do a whole second coat, but probably just some touch-ups in the morning. I just got out of a glorious warm bath. It was wonderful. It's been quite chilly, so definitely a great way to end the night after a full day of home projects. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to many more home projects and crafts and DIYs coming up this year, but I hope you all are well, and I'm excited to see you next. Bye!